What's up, designers, and welcome back to Rempton Games! Today's topic, Candyland! On the surface, you might think that Candyland's a simple game for babies. In fact, some might even argue that it's not a game at all, because you never have to make any decisions. Well, guess what? Those people are dead.
Candy.
Wrong. The thing about Candyland is that you've got to think outside the box. Sure, it might seem completely random if you follow every single rule like some kind of communist. Is that what you are? Some kind of sheeple? Doing exactly what everyone else tells you? No! You're a free thinker who does what they want, when they want. And what you really want to do is win. After all, if Candyland really is a game for babies, are you actually gonna let a baby beat you? Beat you? In a game? Are you really gonna be defeated by a snot-nosed little glue licker named Liam? Liam doesn't know
Sugar
about games. They still have a 50% chance of winning? Not in my house. So, if you want to learn how to improve your skills at Candyland, you've come to the right place. Without further ado, let's get started. If you want to overthrow King Candy in a violent coup and declare yourself the true leader of Candyland, then you need to understand the board first. There are many different versions of the Candyland board, but they all have a few things in common. They all have a mix of spaces of different colors with some pink spaces that have special names. If you want to win the game as fast as possible, then you've got to start by drawing the furthest pink square you can. Then a couple double spaces will get you there in 3 or 4 turns tops. But wait, Mr. All-Knowing Peppermint Internet Man! How am I supposed to know which cards I'm gonna draw? After all, isn't the deck random? Of course it is. If you're a
fudge
moron. But if you were stupid, would you be watching this video? Didn't think so. Obviously, all you've got to do is stack the deck. You don't even have to be that sneaky about it, because your opponent's probably a kid, and kids are D-U-M dumb. However, if you do want to make it seem more fair, you can always put the cards you want on the top, and then do a false shuffle to hide your tracks. How does one do a false shuffle with Candyland cards? I don't know.
Frosting.
Google it. What, I gotta do everything for you? If this advice seems a bit less specific than usual, it's because they keep changing the board. It's like every few years they'll come out with a completely different game with a different board and a new art style, and they keep calling it Candyland even though it's basically nothing like the real Candyland. You know, the one that we played in our collective childhoods. And it's like they think we won't even notice. I mean, sure, the different versions have some similarities. I mean, they got the same colors and similar overall wibble wobbles, but come on! I mean, who even is this guy? You're not gonna look at me with a straight face and tell me this is supposed to be Jolly. And they really did old Grandma Nut dirty, replacing her with Grandma Gooey and then old Duchess Eclair, which I think we can both agree were some pretty serious downgrades. Look at this space. Do you know what kind of space this is? This is a licorice space. One of the most foul inventions in all of gaming that forces you to waste an entire turn. However, in the newest version, there's no Lord Licorice. So who's leaving this licorice around, huh? Who kidnapped King Candy? What's even the plot anymore? You know, a lot of people were understandably confused when they made Princess Frostine incredibly hot. But I think the bigger question is why they immediately went back and made her less hot again. I guess it's true what they say. In 2023, Candy can't even be sexy anymore.
The brown M&M, also less sexy.
Heck, some versions of the game even get rid of me, your old pal Mr. Mint, and replace me with this. And sure, they brought me back, but now I'm just some doofy kid with none of my classic clowny splendor. All of this brings me to the main point of this video. As we've seen with Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and now Candyland, The corporate overlords over at Hasbro clearly don't know how to manage their most important properties. I think it's obvious that they are destroying the Candyland community, and there's only one way to make our voices heard: by loudly complaining on the internet. We need to go back to before everything went wrong, which I think we can all agree is when they got rid of Grandma Nut. Remember, everybody, if you want Grandma Nut back as much as I do, you let those know-nothings at Hasbro know on Twitter using the hashtag #GiveMeThatNut. Well, that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss more important confectionery protests. If you want to see more, make sure you check out the rest of the channel. I've got thousands of videos on all kinds of candy topics, and even a few on other board games. And join me next time for my tier list on which Kinder Egg toys are most likely to choke a toddler. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.